Hey there, YouTube. So, today is that awesome day that I've been promising for the past 3 or 4 days. The day that I will review the Nexus S. He didn't do the sound effect. But anyway, the Nexus S is what I've been using as my daily phone for the past 3 or 4 days, since Thursday. I don't want to count how many days that was. But anyway, since I gave my, no, I did not give, I let my friend borrow my Nexus 1 because he wanted to try out Android. Trying to get those iPhone people to come over. But anyway, I'm going to give you a almost full review of how the Nexus S has been working so far for me. There have been a few problems with the phone, but I'm sure those are just software glitches, so they will be ironed out. But anyway, without further ado, let's take this awesome phone and take it apart. Okay, so let's get started with this review. So first what I'm going to do is actually start off with the bad of the phone and then go to the good, because the bad really does not outnumber the good in this phone. There's some awesome features that I've been waiting for quite a long time, and I guess we'll start off with the bad just to get them out of the way. So anyway, of course you guys know what the phone looks like. All you Android lovers have been checking out this phone for the past few months. So anyway, it does have a rear-facing camera, which surprisingly is not 720p HD for recording video. Now what they're saying is actually it's a hardware limitation, but hopefully they'll do exactly what they did for the Nexus 1, and once it's been the Cyanogen mod has been created, you'll be able to have 720p HD recording. Hopefully, which I'm sure will come, just like for the Nexus 1 came. Anyway, it does have an LED flash. The picture quality for taking pictures is actually very good. I really like that about this phone. Let's see here. So of course it does have the front-facing camera. The front-facing camera is disappointing. You know, you don't really expect too much from a front-facing camera because it's basically just for video chat and stuff like that. But for taking pictures, it's terrible. For taking videos, it's pretty terrible. But it's understandable since basically it's just for video chat. So I'm not going to really take too much off for that. Anyway, I have had a few problems with the phone, so we're just going to turn it on now. You can see the lock screen pretty much looks the same as the Nexus 1. But anyway, I have had a problem. The day I got the Nexus S, it actually crashed when I was in the Android market. The Android market crashed. It was very interesting because it might just be that it hasn't been updated to the newest market yet. So once that comes, it may be a lot more stable. So hopefully that was the only problem. Anyway, let's go on. The phone also restarted itself, which was kind of weird. I'm not actually sure why it did that. It actually has done it twice since I've owned it. It actually did do it a few times with the the Nexus 1, but I believe that was probably just a problem with the ROM. They just need to update it more, and then they won't have that problem anymore. So hopefully when the new ROMs come out, hopefully won't have any more problems. As you guys know, I'm sure you know, the Nexus S has already been rooted, and well, I'll even show you. We have the super user permission on here already. Check that out. Yay. So basically it has been rooted for other ROMs, which will be awesome when Cyanogen, I know I'm probably saying that wrong. I'm sure when that comes out it'll be really awesome. Okay, one thing that's a little bit frustrating with the Nexus S, which actually is in Gingerbread in total, is in the Nexus 1 you also had the ability to just long press on words and then copy all. Instead, now they just have select all, and then they have little bars, which are really awesome. That's a good feature about the Nexus S and Gingerbread. But now you actually have to go to copy, and then if you want to go here and do paste, which is kind of annoying. It was a lot better in the Nexus 1 in Froyo, where you could just copy all. I will miss that feature. Hopefully they'll bring that back because it was really useful. Okay, so now let's talk about the good of the Nexus S, because there really wasn't too much bad. First off, of course, we have Gingerbread. Look at this awesome UI. It's definitely different, as you can see. I'm sure a lot of people have already talked about it. It has different notifications. They're in green now. They also changed to white. I'm not totally sure why. But anyway, notifications are pretty cool. The buttons on the Nexus S compared to the Nexus 1 are amazing. They're much easier to use because you basically, if you had it sitting down like this, you would not be able to press these buttons. It would just be a pain in the butt. But anyway, So let's see here. What else? The phone it feels faster. It's lighter than the Nexus 1, which is nice. It feels faster. However, the Nexus 1, my Nexus 1 at least, was rooted, so it was faster than this phone, but hopefully after it's been rooted and custom ROMs come out, I will be able to overclock it just like I did for the Nexus 1. As you can see, the time actually does not show AM or PM anymore, which I'm sure you can change in the settings. I just haven't. Let's see here. What else do we have that's better on the Nexus S? You pretty much get the same UI as Froyo. Not much has changed really, but now when you long drag, I did notice this, you can see it starts getting orange as you go farther down, which is kind of cool. It's not really a big change, but it's just something that's been cool. It also does it at the bottom, as you can see. One of the biggest pluses of this phone is the screen. The screen is so much better than the Nexus 1 that I can just not get over it, because it's actually just so much easier to use. The touch screen is so much more precise, and I have had no problems with it at all. With the Nexus 1, there were problems such as registering below where you're actually hitting. I can hit right on, boom, and it goes to it. So I've had no problems with the touchscreen. It's an amazing difference. If you have problems with your Nexus 1, I definitely recommend that you check out the Nexus S, because you will not be disappointed. One thing that was a little bit weird, I'm not sure if you can, oh, you can see it. They did switch the home and search screen, or the screen buttons, which was kind of weird. It took a little bit getting used to, but it wasn't really a big problem for me. It does definitely take time to get used to, because you're not used to it if you're using the Nexus 1, but it isn't a big problem. The quality of phone calls on this phone are really great. I haven't had any trouble hearing anyone, and the quality is just amazing. I really had no problems with the Nexus 1's sound quality either, but this just goes beyond what I was expecting, and it's really great. I really don't have too much else to talk about. There's not really been too many changes in this operating system and phone. As I'm sure you already noticed, the screen is bigger than the Nexus 1, which is pretty nice. You don't really get too much extra screen real estate, but it's still pretty cool. So basically, I think this is probably the end of the review. There isn't really too many changes in Gingerbread, but as I'm sure you can already tell, the thing pops up black now instead of white or gray, I'm not sure. And then of course they have near field communication, which is kind of cool. Haven't had a chance to use that because it's not really out there yet. One thing that I'm really hoping they bring out for Gingerbread in the future, or someone creates a mod for it, there actually may be one, I just haven't seen it, is the ability to choose when the screen unlock security would actually be activated. Like, I don't want to have to turn off my phone. By the way, check this out. Boop. But anyway, I don't want to have to put in the password every time I turn on the phone. It'd be nice if there was like a 15-minute option like they do for the iPhone. That is one thing that I think the iPhone really does well. So hopefully they come out with that. But anyway, I don't really have too much else to talk about this phone. One, I actually do. Now, as you can see here, the phone does have a 16 gig storage, which is pretty cool. It does not have a spot for micro SD, which is kind of bad, kind of good. It does have 16 gigs of internal space, but it also has 1 gig of space for internal storage. I'm not sure why they didn't just combine both and let you just put everything in one spot instead of giving you 1 gig of internal space and then 13 gigs of USB storage, which is also internal. It really made no sense for me. I'm kind of wondering if you could actually partition it to make it bigger, but not really sure. But I'm sure I won't have a problem with filling up 1 gig for at least now. Anyway, if you have any questions about the phone or want to see something feature on the phone, let me know in the video responses, send me a message, and I will try to make a video about it for you, or just answer your question. The phone overall is an amazing phone. I really don't regret buying it. just like I did for the Nexus 1. The Nexus 1 was a great phone for the year that I used it, and this one I can see myself using for quite a long time. Anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I will either make your video or I will answer your question. Thank you for watching. Like always, make sure to give this a thumbs up and click on the subscribe button up at the top. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.